Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator. Our system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing. As helmsman, you are the ship's navigator, responsible for maneuvering the ship and navigating within and between star systems. Your crew depends on you to get the ship wherever needed, to avoid collisions with hazards in space, and to maneuver for tactical advantage in combat situations. As the tactical officer, you are in charge of the ship's weapons, defenses, and scanners. In combat situations, you must coordinate with the rest of the bridge crew to protect the ship and deal with any threats to it. But you also have a crucial role in non-combat situations. It is the tactical officer's responsibility to scan nearby ships and other objects in the environment to reveal vital information about them. As tactical officer, you have control over raising and lowering the ship's shields. When raised, the shields will charge up to maximum strength over time. They are your best defense against damage to the ship. When shields are lowered or down to 0 strength, any damage to the ship may cause serious harm to onboard systems, or even loss of life to your crew. When shields are raised, the chief engineer can direct power to them to increase their effectiveness. Raise the shields now. There is a delay while power is channeled into the shield emitters before the shields come online. In a combat situation, remember that you need to raise shields before the enemy fires. You will often need to scan a target to learn more about it, or to locate people or objects of interest in another vessel. Some objects are scanned with a simple, general scanning action. This happens automatically when the object is targeted. More complex objects, like other ships, can be scanned for specific properties, such as the locations of any weak points in a ship's system. When an object has many features to scan, scanning them all at once is much slower than scanning a single specific system. Scanning is required before it's possible to transport people or cargo off of another vessel, or before being able to target weak spots of an enemy's ship systems. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. Here you can select what systems you want to scan. Scanning a single system will always be faster than scanning multiple at once. Also, the closer the ship is to the target, the faster you can scan. Scan the ship's engines now to reveal their status, and any weak points which would allow you to damage the engines directly. In order to scan anything or to fire on it, you must first target it. To select a target, simply select the appropriate icon on your map. Once you've selected a target, a display will show all currently known information about your selection. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. You will often need to scan a target to learn. As chief engineer, you support all other members of the bridge crew by keeping the Aegis operating in top condition. You monitor vital status information about the ship's systems, allocate power needed for maneuvering and combat, and manage the ship's power grid to compensate for damage or boost its capabilities. You also manage the ship's repair teams and keep an eye on how visible the Aegis is to other ships in the area. Your system's display gives vital information about the status of the ship's various systems at all times. When your ship is suffering from negative effects, this panel provides information about the source and severity of the effect. As chief engineer, you have more detail about your ship's status than any other member of the crew. Activate your system's display now. Before the ship can travel between star systems, you must make the ship ready and charge its warp coils. This draws a tremendous amount of power, and you will be unable to make any further changes to power allocation or routing while prepping for warp. Begin preparing for warp now. Charge the warp coils. The helmsman will have a limited time to engage the warp drive, or the coils will automatically discharge to prevent damage to the ship.
Warp coils charged. Warp coil discharge imminent. Warp coils charging.
How you allocate power determines how effective each of those systems is. As situations change, you'll need to communicate with the rest of the crew to keep them supplied with power and to anticipate when to make critical adjustments. One of your most essential responsibilities as Chief Engineer is to distribute available power between each of the ship's major systems. Try giving maximum power to engines now. Now try giving maximum power to shields. You will have to reduce power to other systems first.
Warp coils charging. Warp coils charged.
How you allocate power determines how effective each of those systems is. As situations change, you'll need to communicate with the rest of the crew to keep them supplied with power and to anticipate when to make critical adjustments. One of your most essential responsibilities as Chief Engineer is to distribute available power between each of the ship's major systems. Try giving maximum power to engines now. Now try giving maximum power to shields. You will have to reduce power to other systems first. When the ship sustains damage, it's up to you to deploy repair crews and get critical systems back in working order. You have a limited number of crews available. You may send multiple crews to repair a single system faster, or you may spread them out to work on multiple systems at once. We have simulated damage to your phaser banks and scanners. Assign repair crews to both systems to get them back to full working condition.
Sensor array restored. Phaser array restored.
Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As Chief Engineer, you can monitor all systems which are affecting the ship's signature and gauge the range at which the Aegis will be detectable to other vessels. This information is vital when trying to avoid contact with hostile ships. It's possible to increase the power to one or more systems beyond normal safe operating limits by rerouting the ship's power grid. Switch to rerouting mode now. Try diverting extra power to shields by dragging an adjacent power node over to it. It's possible to increase the power to one or more systems beyond normal safe operating limits by rerouting the ship's power grid. Switch to rerouting mode now. Try diverting extra power to shields by dragging an adjacent power node over to it. You have increased maximum shield strength by drawing some power from other systems. This situation is risky, though. The extra power flowing through those conduits could cause internal damage. When you use the rerouting system, you must keep an eye on the power grid and be ready to make changes as needed.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I did.
Hello there.
Hello, mate.
Oh, 2 ensigns. Alright then. We are getting new people now into this game. That's good.
Yeah.